With the permission of Rabbi and Mrs. Jacobson, Mrs. Shu and Mrs. Reifer, teachers, parents, family, friends, and fellow graduates, I stand here today representing the 2021 ASHAR graduating class. They say hindsight is 20/20, but looking back on our last year, I will take foresight in 2021 anytime. We stand on the precipice of our future, and as we look forward, it is the lessons of our past that will lead us to our future successes. Our class is one of the most unique classes in ASHAR history. Many of us started in other schools and slowly joined ASHAR. That definitely changed the dynamics of the class, and though there were obviously some growing pains, we have become a cohesive unit and have learned much from each other. Like a puzzle that would not be complete without every piece, our class is only whole with each and every one of us. We truly feel like a family and would not want to be standing here today if we were not all here together. This week, we will learn from the fourth parak in Pirkei Avot. It contains maybe some of the most famous and well-known Jewish phrases. It begins with Ezehu Chacham Halomein Mikol Adam. Who is wise? One who learns from every person. We must thank our principals and teachers for all that they have taught us in our classes. They have given us knowledge which will help us in our future, but just as importantly, they have taught us how to act, how to celebrate our holidays, how to love Israel, and how to live our lives as a true Bat Yisrael. We have also been chosen to face an incredible challenge that has not been faced by people in over 100 years, the COVID pandemic. And as such, we have had the opportunity to learn many unique things that most classes do not. We have learned how to multitask, like how to be in class on Zoom and curl our hair at the same time. We have learned how to take advantage of a poor internet connection when we don't know the answer to a teacher's question. We have also learned from each other how to be friends, how to work as a group, and how much we are capable of accomplishing when we each use our strengths for the greater good. We now know that we are all a piece of one large whole, and when each of us do our parts, we will all succeed and complete each other. The next phrase in the Mishnah is Ezehu Gibor HaKovesh et Yitzro. Who is strong? One who conquers their personal inclinations. Over our years at ASHAR, we have learned that what will define us in our future is not our weaknesses or the challenges we face, but rather we will be defined by how we overcome our challenges and the adversities that arise in our lifetime. The Mishnah continues. Ezehu Ashir Hasamech Bechalko. Who is wealthy? One who is satisfied with their lot. There's an expression in English based on this thought. Happiness isn't getting what you want, but wanting what you've got. This last year and a half in particular has taught us how grateful we need to be for the things we have in life. We now know that just being able to go to school and learn is a privilege we have and must never take for granted. We have learned how lucky we are to be able to sit in class or go out to recess without a mask. We have learned to be happy to be able to go on school trips with our friends and eat out in restaurants. The Mishnah concludes, Ezehu mechubad ha-mechabed et habriyot. Who is honored? One who honors others. True honor is not achieved from your personal accomplishments, but rather from the manner in which you treat your fellow man. We are proud to represent ASHAR as the graduates of 2021. We wear that title as a badge of honor and would like to be known not for what we have personally accomplished, but instead for the numerous good deeds that we have done for each other. With the lessons of this Mishnah, in conjunction with our experiences here at ASHAR, we now have a blueprint for our future. We must use all of our experiences in life as lessons to be learned, and we must view everyone we encounter as someone to learn from. Our strength will not come from our God-given talents, nor from our successes. They will come from how we turn our weaknesses into strengths and what we learn from our mistakes. Our future success and happiness will come not just from the results of our working hard, but as importantly from the hard work itself. And lastly, we should not look for what others can do for us, but rather what we can do for others and how we can elevate them. We, the graduating class of 2021, want to thank all of you for bringing us to this point in our lives. We want you to know that we will take the lessons that you have taught us as well as those we have accumulated through our various and sometimes difficult experiences as we embark on the next chapter of our lives. I think I speak for everyone here when I say that one of our most incredible memories at ASHAR will be the close connections we have created with our many teachers. We always knew that no matter what the circumstance or difficulties we were facing, we would have a listening ear and sometimes even a steaming cup of strawberry tea. Lastly, I want to thank each of my fellow graduates for the unique things they have brought to our class. For all the competitiveness, uncoordinated dances, the most interesting yet delicious food combinations, and the funny yet not so funny jokes that make sense only to us. I want to say I profusely thank you all for making these last few years some of the best of my life. I know that I would not be who I am today without each of you. May Hashem grant us all the health, strength, and determination required for our success in the future.
One of the most special experiences I had in ASHAR was participating in the Names Not Numbers program. My group interviewed Chai and Miser, who actually had feelings of guilt for surviving. It is so important for us, being the last generation, to hear firsthand from survivors to spread their stories. And I just found it so inspiring how these survivors were able to open up about what they went through.
In conjunction with Names Not Numbers, we went on a trip to the Jewish Holocaust Museum in Battery Park, New York. This museum really gave me another perspective. A few things that I saw was a stretcher that carried people that passed away. Another thing that I saw was a pair of baby shoes. Not knowing what happened to the baby really made me touch and gave me another perspective of what happened to the Jews in the Holocaust.
One of my favorite memories at ASHAR is Names Not Numbers. This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience where 8th graders interview Holocaust survivors. Although this isn't the happiest memory, I'm really glad I was able to be part of this remarkable experience. My group and I interviewed Ruth Itzkowitz. Ruth has a lot of strength and motivation, and I will never forget that day.
One of my favorite memories from ASHAR was coming to school on my first morning in 5th grade, and that feeling has lasted until my last days here. In ASHAR, I had the opportunity to partake in many chesed activities. One specific trip that I will never forget was going to Elmwood Elementary School. We had the chance to read children's books and do activities with children who had a variety of disabilities and special needs. This experience really moved me and gave me another perspective on life. Putting a genuine smile on their face put a genuine smile onto mine.
We walked into the room in the Friedwald Center, and I realized what a great mitzvah I'm about to fulfill. In 6th grade, ASHAR took us on a trip to a nursing home to visit elderly people. An elderly man in a wheelchair asked us if we go to shul. Most of us responded that we did, and he said with a big smile on his face that it's very important that we go every Shabbos. After that, we took Mrs. Weber's van back to school and spoke about what a great mitzvah we just fulfilled.
When I look back at all my years of ASHAR, the highlight of my time here was when we went to the Friedwald Center in 6th grade. When we got there, we heard amazing stories about all the people's lives and the challenges they overcame. The best part about my visit was that I got to visit my uncle, and even though I couldn't see it, I know it put a smile on his face. I will never forget my trip to the Friedwald Center.
A memory that stands out to me the most from being in ASHAR is in 6th grade when we went on a trip to the Tenement Museum in the Lower East Side of Manhattan. In conjunction with our immigration unit, we got to see real-life immigration apartments. There was really little space to walk around, and we had to huddle together. Seeing their belongings was cool because they were torn apart and old. For me personally, seeing their belongings made me feel grateful for everything that I have. After we left the museum, we went to a place called the Pickle Guys, where we got to choose from different pickles. And on the bus home, leaving the city, we got to eat pickles and talk about our experiences.
In 5th grade, our class went to the Liberty Science Museum. It was one of the first memories I made in ASHAR, and one of my favorite things to do there was the touch tunnel. The touch tunnel is a pitch black cave that you feel around till you get to the end. I did it over and over and over with my classmates. It was really fun.
A good memory I have at ASHAR was when in 6th grade we went to the Tenement Museum in the Eldridge Synagogue. I enjoyed doing that because I got to see how the immigrants used to live, and that interested me. Their housing was crowded and their lives were hard, yet they still built the beautiful shul that's still there today.
One specific memory I have of the years in ASHAR is the challah bake with the whole school. Every year on Erev Shabbos, Parshas Chayei Sarah, we made delicious challah with the younger grades, learning all about the incredible miracles that Sarah Yamin encountered. While the challah was rising, we came together and danced. I will always remember this great challah bake we had.
One of my favorite memories in ASHAR is color. Every year on Yom Yerushalayim is color. You can see all the time and preparations each and every one of the faculty members put into each activity. The way we teach all the grades, cheers, dances, and songs is going to be so hard to forget, especially since this year I was color captain.
A day of school in ASHAR that stands out to me is the dressing up for the upcoming week of Purim and Shushan Purim. The day of, I came dressed up in a theme with my friends. Everyone complimented each other on their costumes and no one's left out of the laughs. Just being there, you would feel the spirit and ruach that was circling the area. The night before it snowed, so we all took priceless pictures while slipping on the ice and falling in the snow. Just thinking about this day puts a smile on my face.
One of my favorite opportunities that I was able to explore through my many years at ASHAR was being part of the Torah Bowl team. I learned 4 of the 5 Chamisha Chomshei Torah with every Rashi, which truly enhanced my work ethic. This year, many changes were made. All our meets were on Zoom, and our first meet was a Kahoot made by various different coaches. Through the rest of the meets, it was not quite normal, but we still played with buzzers and we used our laptops for Zoom.
A big memory I have here at ASHAR was being the literary editor. I was the only literary editor, so I got to be able to control everything when it came to the outside projects besides for the projects that our teacher assigned us. And because of that, I ended up doing a lot of writing. I ended up doing a contest. I didn't win, but I did end up writing a lot and having a lot of fun. And then I also wrote several different types of poetry as well.
One thing I really enjoyed doing this year was when my class made up a dance to teach all the younger grades for a flash mob on Yom HaAtzmaut. It was really fun to teach them all the moves, and it was really cute to see them doing the dance so enthusiastically. Overall, this is an experience that I'll remember forever.
One of my favorite memories of my ASHAR experience was when we had the Chop Challenge. The Chop Challenge was extremely fun because not only did we get time off of class, we also had parents come in and volunteer to help out. It also gave each student who participated a time to let out their creative sides and just have fun. Not only did we get time off of class, it also gave everyone a reason to work together to get the job done.
One thing that I will always treasure at ASHAR is Yom HaAtzmaut. In ASHAR, Yom HaAtzmaut is always a big deal. The 8th graders have a tradition to set up the school full of Israeli flags the night before. On Yom HaAtzmaut, we raise the flag of Israel and all come together. After that, we have activities all day and celebrate the day of Israel's independence.
When I reflect back on my years at ASHAR, I think about all the amazing things that happened over these past years. One thing I especially remember is the 6th grade bat mitzvah program. A bat mitzvah is an extremely important part in a girl's life, and this program was extremely enjoyable and a great experience. I'm so happy I was able to celebrate this milestone with my classmates.
Something that I'll always remember from my elementary school days at ASHAR were the 3 country plays we did in 3rd grade. I think that was a brilliant way of teaching because you got a mix of fun while acting in a play and a sense of learning too, and I think that was really important. We did 3 separate plays that year, one about France, one about Japan, and one about the continent of Africa. One fond memory I have was in rehearsing for our France play, I came up with one of the lines for my character. Ever since then, my line has stuck with the script for as long as I still did the play. As I'm graduating ASHAR, I'll always remember these 3 special plays that taught me so much.
One of my favorite memories for me in ASHAR is when I came to the school. I remember in 4th grade before Hanukkah, we moved into a new house in Muncie. On the day of, I was so nervous. I walked in to the school with a long, high ponytail. When I walked into the classroom, it said, "Welcome Chavi" on the board because everyone got my name wrong. But in the end, I became close with every single girl and had such a good experience, and I'm sad to leave and hope I can stay in touch with everyone.
ASHAR is the only school I ever attended. I started in nursery in the old building on Highview. I only remember 3 things from the old building. 1 is that the indoor playroom is stories high. 2 is a split second of what my pre-K classroom looked like, and that we were learning the months. I also remember seeing my cousin going up the stairs, and that's when I found out that there was an upstairs and a downstairs. I came to this building when I was 6 years old and stayed here to the end of 8th grade. I know I'll miss the school, and then I might wave when I pass by.
Okay, throughout the years I spent in ASHAR, there were many amazing memories and experiences. But the main experience that I enjoyed was the teacher-to-student relationship. The teachers are not just there to teach you, but someone to talk to, someone to help you with homework, or just to be there for you. When I was in 5th grade, I had cancer. And every week on Mondays and Wednesdays, a different teacher each week came with 2 or 3 girls to eat lunch with me and just talk. Thank you to all the teachers from pre-K till 8th grade for helping me become the best person I can be.
Birshas Rabbi Jacobson, Mrs. Jacobson, Mrs. Shu, Mrs. Reifer, parents, grandparents, teachers, rebellion, and fellow graduates. Congratulations, graduates. Today marks a special day in our calendar, a day we've been waiting for since kindergarten. In this week's parak in Pirkei Avos, Perek Daled, Mishnah Chaf Hey, the Mishnah states, Halomed Yeled L'mahu Domeh L'diok Tuva Al Nier Chadash. The Halomed Zaken L'mahu Domeh L'diok Tuva Al Nier Machok. One who studies as a child, he can be compared to ink written on a paper that is fresh. One who studies as an old man, he can be compared to ink written on a paper that is smudged. When we learn when we're young, we're compared to a paper that is white. A drop of ink leaves a mark on it. If it's a new piece of paper, even after the ink dries, it lasts and it's clear. When we learn when we are young, every little thing that our teachers teach us leaves an impression on our lives forever. When one learns when they're old, it doesn't last as long. The Mishnah explains that holds true only if you start learning when you're old. If you start learning when you're young and have lasting impressions, as you get older, it will continue on the same paper from your youth. We started here in our youth with fresh papers, with the teachers and staff at ASHAR, our foundation, everything they taught us. We learned lessons for life, and they've enabled us to grow. What we learn in the future is based on what we learned here at ASHAR. In this week's Pirkei Avos, Perek Daled, Mishnah Yudaled, the Mishnah states, Kol Knesya Shehi L'Shem Shemayim Sufa L'Hitzkayim. Any assembly done with the right motives, L'Shem Shemayim will last. We are here today at Knesya, our graduation. It is a culmination of all the years we've spent here at ASHAR, all the hard work of all the staff done L'Shem Shemayim with proper motivation. The staff made sacrifices for each student to make each student shine. The staff went beyond the call of duty. They wrote on a paper that was new, and this will leave a mark that will last forever. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Hashem for bringing me to this moment in time and for all the wonderful things that He's done for me. Thank you, ASHAR, for laying the foundation and for being my backbone for all my future endeavors. The education, knowledge, and skills that we've gained at ASHAR will Amir Hashem support us going forward. I would also like to thank my parents for choosing ASHAR and for supporting me throughout elementary school. Thank you for being exemplary role models. Whether it's helping me write a speech or driving carpool, you've always been there for me, and I have tremendous hakaras hatov. To my fellow classmates, thanks for being a fun, lively, and enjoyable group. We've had our ups and downs. As a famous football player once said, if you find a path without obstacles, it probably doesn't lead anywhere. We've created many memories and shared in good times together. I will miss each and every one of you next year, and I hope we keep in touch.
Birshut Rabbi Jacobson, Mrs. Jacobson, Mrs. Shu, Mrs. Reifer, grandparents, parents, and friends. Chazak, chazak, v'nis chazik. This verse is customarily said when a full volume of Chumash is completed. But why the triple term of strength? This comes to teach us that although we are celebrating the past and its accomplishments, it is imperative to reference the present and future as well. In the beginning of Sefer Yehoshua, when Hashem spoke to Yehoshua about leading Bnei Yisrael into Eretz Yisrael, Hashem said, Chazak va'amatz, be strong and resolute. You need to be strong, and you also must resolve in your mind to push through any obstacles in the road. So why not say Chazak va'amatz when we complete a volume of Chumash? Why the difference in expression? The Lubavitcher Rebbe offered one possible explanation to answer this question. He said that we say Chazak Chazak v'nis chazek rather than Chazak v'amatz when we finish learning a volume of Chumash, because the triple repetition establishes a precedent for future behavior, the halachic concept of chazakah, which says that a behavior repeated 3 times becomes the default setting. ASHAR strongly adheres to this concept, as evidenced by the tried and true color war breakout of a fake fire alarm for 9 years running now. I've already warned my younger sister Kira that anytime she hears the fire alarm, she should immediately start choosing a team. All kidding aside, I am so grateful to ASHAR for their consistent, strong stance on vital issues. Over my years here at ASHAR, the staff has instilled in each of us a deep love of Torah and learning, while always encouraging our development of midot tovo and consideration for others. They have incorporated these lessons and behaviors over and over into each and every lecture and class, so that our default behavior is to be strong and resolute for our principles. They have thus given us a solid foundation, a strong path for the future chapters in our lives. I can honestly say that I look forward to going to school every single day. The combination of dedicated and caring teachers, the extracurricular projects, trips, and sports programs help make the years fly by, while giving us all an unrivaled education. One of the fundamentals always stressed in ASHAR is the concept of Hakarat HaTov. But even if I spoke for hours, I can never adequately thank my teachers, staff members, and most of all, Rabbi and Mrs. Jacobson enough. ASHAR would not be ASHAR without you, and I'm sure I speak for my classmates when I say we will forever be grateful for the incredible years we have spent here at ASHAR. In closing, I want to wish my classmates, co-awardees, teachers, and principals a chazak chazak v'nis chazek. I believe that although we may be leaving ASHAR, ASHAR will never leave us. Thank you.